The Lifted Saint was a small tavern tucked between the northern edge of Felden and a cliff overlooking the sea. It sat on the crest of a hill, accessed by a winding cobblestone road falling into disrepair. The fog would roll off the water and hug the lower reaches of the hill, making the tavern a solitary shadow of past glory hanging on the precipice of the void above the flowing clouds. Its tower, which had been used for generations to stare out over the sea and dream of adventures in foreign lands or watch anxiously for a specific ship, had large pieces missing. Some had fallen into the drink, others were pulled off for wood to repair the building below. At any rate, the passage to the jagged remains of the tower were closed off to keep the rain out and the few curious patrons in. The building leaned slightly toward the cliff, its old wood threatening to let go at a moment's notice, never delivering on the promise of finality. The town had been a city once, when it sat on the edge of the known world. A hub of adventurers, getting their final supplies, and traders looking for new and exciting stock, Felden rose to fame with fine wares from unknown lands and stories of glory, mystery, and quests just waiting to create legends. It attracted the adventurous, the foolish, the hucksters, and the merchants in equal measure. It was a glistening beacon of everything that made our world go round. It was the last stop before the unknown, the untamed lands ruled by dragons and fae, the world beyond the best maps. The border between the known and the unknown, the edge of civilization peering out over the promise of untamed wilderness and untold riches. Felden was never meant to exist anywhere but the end of the world, and what frontiers remained were now far, far away. We did our jobs too well, and there was no unclaimed wild left to discover. No one needed stories of lands far away when they could reliably travel there. No one needed heroes to carve out safe havens in a land that had been tamed. And with the magic running out, there were fewer monsters to face and fewer healers to help those who faced them. As the promise of that age turned to dust, its symbols and the trade built on that promise fell apart, and those who relied on it faded into obscurity. Its market was reduced to a handful of stalls, mostly holdout farmers feeding the walking forgotten in the shadows of ancient guild halls with collapsed roofs and ivy-covered walls. I went to Felden in search of any lingering or long-lost stories I could cling to. I found only footnotes. We belonged together, Rigel and Felden and me. Rigel wouldn't admit it. He still took the odd job when it came up, kept his armor clean and ready, maintained the core rooms of the Adventurers Guild, and muttered about the lack of art to these newfangled guns while polishing his sword. The weight of a bygone era resting on his shoulders kept him slumped at the bar, paying his tab with coins he'd earned and set aside a decade or more earlier. He drank to victory in a nearly empty tavern and stumbled off into the mists when Marcus was done with my entertainment and kicked everyone out of the bar so he could sleep. We all knew each other, and thought we knew what the rest of our lives were going to look like, the only remaining mystery being who would be left to witness it. But then, unannounced, someone new emerged from the seaborne mist for the first time in 6 years.